Hey guys, and welcome to another Schematics update. This time we want to talk about everything we didn't like in Surviving Mars, and for that we once again have invited Belannaer and Tatanka. Hey guys, Belannaer, could you please introduce yourself for guys out there who may have no idea who you are?
Hello, I'm Belannaer and I do streaming on Twitch. I also do YouTube for gaming related stuff, and I also do some Belannaer Taste the World, so I eat things around the world and try out some new stuff. I also run a big curator called Builders Management Commanders for building management and strategy games. I'm also a strange long-haired Finn from like up here from Finland, so that's me.
And Tatanka, please, as well.
Hey guys, my name is Tatanka. Some of you might know me from the Planet Coaster community over on Twitch. It's where I stream under the name of Tatanka Plays, and you can also find me on Twitter under that name.
And now it's our turn to introduce ourselves. Hey, I'm AdfoTV. You probably know me from this wonderful little channel called Schematics, and you can find my stuff on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch as well.
And my name is Blind. I stream on Twitch. You can find my stuff at stupidskull.com. So now that we've gushed over what we enjoyed and like about Surviving Mars, which there is a lot, we're gonna nitpick a little bit here, I think.
Okay, so a thing that I noticed is there are no real tutorials.
Oh yeah, there is. They paid Quill18 to make some.
Yeah, thank you. They choose the frontier way of doing tutorials. Let the fucking community do them. Well, I don't think that the game is... If you pick an easy sponsor and an easy commander, the game doesn't really need tutorials. It gives you hints in the game itself.
Are the hints really enough, though?
Yeah, not really.
If you look at the hints menu, it actually lists like what to do like in order. If you skip like this is how you use a camera, and this is how you just in this and this. But it basically has like a suggested building this and this, suggested building this and this, and it's pretty much in the order you need to do them, like in early survival.
Yeah, but I don't think it's. I mean, man, it's 2018. It's not a way how you do tutorials.
No, it's definitely not a good one. But
I think it needs a separate tutorial button.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I also think that maybe this is to do with a later topic that we're going to be mentioning, which is the UI issues, but I think that the tutorial pop-ups are obnoxious and in a terrible spot on the screen, and quite frankly aren't useful in the slightest. In fact, I got rid of them because they were more annoying than anything. Everything about this game's too big. You can scale the UI in the options menu, I should mention. You can. You can. And I still think it's a little on the big side. But if I made it any smaller, I wouldn't be able to see the text.
Let's keep with the tutorials.
As far as the tutorials go, I think that a proper tutorial button with maybe even a voice-acted tutorial would have done
like a 10-minute one, you know?
It doesn't even need a timer, just run you through the basic building.
If you would have if you have a playthrough of the tutorial, it would like take 10 minutes where this is how you can put oxygen down, this is how you can get water, this is how you can get this, and now your base gets destroyed, you need to get better, get good.
Well, the thing is, we are kind of used more or less to these types of games. But we
can fumble thumbs our way through it quite easily.
Exactly. I mean, we know how to rotate the camera and shit, but there are people out there that's probably the first game.
This game is launching on PC, PS4, and Xbox. There's not a lot of games like this on Xbox. The only one I can think of off the top of my head would be Avon Colony, and I think Planet Base made a Xbox release. But like, regardless, there isn't a lot of games like this, especially not a lot of hardcore ones, and this one's definitely on the harder side. It's not an easy game.
Which is a wonderful segue, Blind.
So, I'm just gonna say it. The difficulty percentages are stupid. I hate them. It's already become a topic of bragging, and it's limiting your options for what you can play, especially maybe this is just us as content creators having this problem, but it gives you this arbitrary difficulty multiplier for what profile and what commander you choose. Now, or what commander profile and what sponsor you choose. Some are deemed easier than others, and some are deemed harder than others, which give you higher score multipliers. For example, Russia is apparently really difficult. I found Russia extremely easy. Aside from that, the rockets are really slow and a bit of a pain in the ass. But everything else about it is not really an issue with Russia. And for example, apparently India is easier, but because everything's so cheap, it's too easy to expand too quickly, which can spread you thin and then you can fall over. They're all difficult in their own way, with the exception of maybe the one that you get for the easy start. There is one combination which is just really easy, where you get 5 rockets and a whole bunch of money. But in general, I think the difficulty modifiers are complete and utter tosh. Like, they just shouldn't have them.
Yeah, they didn't really reflect like the actual difficulty of the game in any way. Because the most difficult you get is your map selection, which does actually affect the score, but it's just like how much resource and what threats you have in there and how rough the terrain is. But that can be randomly much worse, even if it's the same difficulty.
Which is just
and then your breakthrough techs affect a lot the difficulty as well, and all the other things like these, which actually don't affect in the score in any way.
Like I had one run where the first breakthrough tech I got was instant building, no damage cables. It was like, wow, this just like makes base expansion infinitely easier.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Like it's just this feel I have, like because I play a lot of like building games and all that kind of games on PC, and I know kind of like that genre. And usually people don't really give or care at all about the difficulty percentages like that, unless they're playing say like they are billions where the difficulty actually matters a lot. Like it actually makes it difficult. But when I'm looking more like a console games, I think they are more like where you care about score a lot more. Like you have platformers, you have shooter games, you have say difficult games like Dark Souls and that kind of games where if you do a difficult run, you are really good at gaming. But it doesn't matter when you play more like a creative builder game on PC.
Can I sort of almost toss a new topic in here? Or this is more just a question for the table. This is mostly a PC games channel. I don't think we've covered anything that really isn't a PC game on Schematics. And we're all PC gamers here. Is this a PC game? Or is this a console port? I can't tell.
Yeah, I would agree. I wouldn't call it a console game per se.
It's definitely affected by the fact that it's on consoles.
Because, like, for example, City Skylines was ported to consoles later. The console version of City Skylines is a completely different game. It's graphically similar looking, but the capabilities of the game on console is completely different than the capabilities of the game on PC. Oops, sorry. I just punched my microphone. If it was built for PC and console day one, it would have been severely limited. Do you think that the game is held back in any way having a simultaneous launch?
I feel like the game itself and the way, to me, it's very difficult. Could be very difficult. I wouldn't buy the game when I would be on an Xbox, if you know what I mean.
I wouldn't want to have to control this on an Xbox. I feel like I need to whip up my controller at some point and try playing this game with a controller.
Yeah, probably a thing we should try.
Yeah, so the game features like different building sets for like buildings, domes, pretty much everything can have like alternative skin. And those were like one of the things they like market with when you buy the game, and there's like these different editions, like the digital deluxe edition, and then you have first colony edition for the game. And like different skins are like one of the things that they market there. Like you have Metropolis set, and you have Stellaris domes and stuff like that. And then you have some skins by default also in the game. And I think they were marketed like a big part of the game to have like different skins, but they're basically all of the ones that are in the game are just recolors of the same model, except the domes have like a bit of like structural differences on the outside. So I was hoping they would be a lot more special and make it look a lot more.
Or make the skins like unlockable. Like maybe when you beat a certain mystery, you could have like a skin that kind of connects to that mystery that you solved in the past. If you know what I mean?
Please no. I don't think that the game like that needs an unlock mechanism to basically... Why you have an unlock mechanism so you keep people to play the game, and I don't think that the game like that
games like this
I can see
games like this benefit from options. The moment you start time gating stuff, it gets less interesting.
But I totally get the point what Belannaer said, that basically it's not a reskin besides the dome. That's basically a reskin, but everything else is like, hey, my drones are now blue instead of red. That's not an alternative skin, that's a color variation, sorry.
I have some very real issues with this game. Most of my time spent with this game before I actually streamed it was literally just me memorizing where to look in the UI to see names. For example, the build menu. It's a bunch of hexes, and there's a name above and a name below, and a name above and a name below. There are times when even after putting 35, 40, 50 hours into this game, I will stare at that menu and not see grocer, because the grocer is on the top and I'm looking on the bottom for the name. Whoever thought that was a good idea really should seriously consider how dumb an idea that is. Whether it is a artistic decision or something else, that's maddening to me. Another complaint that I have about the UI in this game, when an event pops up, you have text on the screen. Why is it semi-transparent? I can't read that. I need a solid background behind my text to be able to read it. And I had people in chat saying things like, oh, well, I have perfect vision and that's hard for me to read. There is just a lot of decisions that have been made with the UI for this game and just general usability of the UI for this game that kind of drove me mad for the first 10 hours until I just figured out its dumbness.
I was at a point where I felt like those messages, because it would normally text, well, not text to speech, but it would say the message, right? Like it would read the message to you. I always thought of because when I played, for example, Diablo 3, you could find this book, and then the person or the person that would start talking would just kept on talking till that read was done. That's what I felt about those big walls of text who came in. I just wanted to listen to them instead of read them at times, which maybe could help.
Yeah, I mean, if it read out the entire box, that would have been totally fine if that was all voice acted, but it's not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like basically the first 2 sentences, and after that, hey, go read.
Also, a lot of the UI in this game to me feels like it was designed to be seen from further away. So when you're really close up to it, everything feels very spaced out and laid out weird. Because it's designed to be, again, playable in a console form when you're sitting back on your couch 6 feet away from your television. You have to be able to see all of that information clearly. When I'm playing on a almost 30-inch monitor about a foot away, I run into issues.
Yeah.
Like it was doable for me, but it's like you said, it's too spaced out. That was my main issue with it.
But I think that's an issue that should, like, UI reskins on at least on PC should solve.
Yeah, I hope the modders take that and run.
So let's move on to the next one, which is my topic, and it's FU drones. I was having like one of these drones transporters, and we're building a dome, a new one, the second one. And I put some drones in the transporter and drove with the resource transporter resources towards the dome. And right at the second that I unloaded the resources from the transporter towards the drone, that just had to move it like 1 millimeter, 1 pixel on the screen towards the dome to build the freaking dome. What did they do? They picked up the resource and transported it to the next depot, which were like, I don't know, 20 hexagons away.
That's not at all where I was expecting to go with that topic.
And I had to select each and every fucking drone to tell them manually to put the stupid resource at the fucking building site. Ihr kleinen Scheißer. Ihr sollt das dahin bringen.
You can prioritize buildings higher.
I know, but
really,
yeah, you
I never had this issue.
Also, like you can forget to put it back, and then it just, you know what, it just it might like add up to the problem. And the same thing like with that issue that I have to do while playing the game was like basically think with the system in mind, if you know what I mean. Like if I put it in the middle of the depot and the building spot, then if it was just in reach, I would use my screen width just to check if my rover, because I think it's called a rover, placement would be fine to, you know, make the range to like do it without not checking it 2 times or 3 times. So I can see what you're, I can totally see what you're getting at.
And it was driving me nuts, really. I was swearing like for 10 minutes till the stupid dome was built. After that, all
at
good.
least they're adorable looking.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they are, but they're freaking.
I want a
guys-
plushie of one of those drones.
Question: Have you guys drove a rover through a meteor shower? Well, like, have you tried that?
The meteors target your rover.
Well, maybe a little bit as well, but
I'm convinced of this.
If you don't use the quarantine button, like which I'm not sure if the quarantine button, but it's basically it makes the drones go into the rover. But I had this issue where my base was getting a heavy meteor shower, and my drone hub got disabled because of a cable fault, and my rover was basically the only thing that kept my base alive. And I was trying to do stuff, but because the meteor showers were coming in, the drones would try to do something, but then they were on the path to getting destroyed because they're like driving right into one of those like exclamation marks. I don't know. I had like 8 drones, and I ended up fixing my base, but I lost like 4 drones, and it was more like trying to move them to get them to the spot where I wanted them to go, but I couldn't go there because of
I think what
marks.
you're trying to say is the micromanagement in times of need is lacking.
The pathfinding is shit. And I saw it.
I mean, they are dumb little drones.
Yeah, but still, I saw a tweet from you, Tatanka, which basically a drone is stuck between 2 domes.
Well, that's the thing that happens. I can't deny
Tweet
it.
random
I mean,
I can
seriously.
show it to you guys if you want later.
Yeah, I also have similar problem where my rovers are trying to climb mountains when they're like different elevations. They sometimes think that they want to climb over the mountain. Even if there's a tunnel, they try to climb through the mountain, and they just get stuck there, and you need to move them manually to the tunnel and then back up. It's really annoying sometimes. Like I had a similar problem with just colonists running around and dying as well. And there's kind of similar similar thing with the UA issue and with the like a micromanagement of the drones, that it's super annoying to move them from like a one hub to another, or from your rover to another. Like it's easy to add new ones. You just press button and add new ones. But if you need to like I want to dump like all the drones from this hub to another hub, or from a rover to another hub. You need to do them one by one. Click on a drone, click a button, and then click on the hub. Like every single one. And you can have hundreds of drones, and it's getting really, really annoying, even with like couple. Imagine moving like 100 of them somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe we should insert that here. What I'm missing in the game is like right click hold to move basically your position on the screen.
Click, drag, open a box.
Exactly. And multi-select, basically just click, drag, open the box.
Like an RTS.
Like every other
Maybe like
RTS.
a command queue as well.
That also sounds like a console issue, because you can't really do that with the controller easily.
Yeah, I want to know how on earth you reassign drones on a controller. Like,
Ooh, good question.
how?
Yeah.
I have
Like,
no
just how does that even work?
Maybe just like
Like,
select
it just
it
doesn't.
over and then like with the D-pad.
Maybe there's one of our viewers / listeners out there who's playing it with the controller because, I don't know, he's drunk right now and can tell us, or on a console and can tell us how to do that with the controller. Anyway, I think we ranted enough about drones. Let's rant about.
I think it's a similar issue,
Exactly.
and the problem that I found in the game is what it was. Where I'm right now on the moment of recording, like I'm not sure if it's a bug or a feature. Thing is, I had 2 domes close next to each other. They were basically like the doors of the domes where colonists can go through. They were 2 hexagons away basically, and I wanted to move some of my my colonists to the other dome, and there was room in there, but I just couldn't do it, even with the filters or anything like that. I just couldn't make it happen, and it felt very frustrating because in the end, and this is the one with that meteor shower, by the way, it made my base not survivable. So it was a little bit sad that something like that happened. But at the same time, the way you have to reassign colonists to another job or to another home, it's just a little bit like Belannaer said with the drones. Like you have to click on, for example, a building, Then you can see a list of people who work there. Then you can see what, for example, profession you have. You have to click on that one. Then you have to click on assign new job, and then you have to do it. And then you later on you might like do something adjusting of the importance a building has, and then it messes it up all again. So basically, I all the time I felt like I had no clear image of what my colonists were doing.
Yeah, like the whole management of the colonists is like really difficult. Like you don't really know where they are. You pick like geologist, botanist, and whatever in your rocket, but then once they land, it's like, well, they're gone somewhere in your colony. And I really stopped caring very quickly about that. I'll just send something over, as long as it's not a alcoholic glutton or something. I'm fine. They'll do some work. I don't care where they are. As long as there's people working somewhere, it's okay.
I really wish that I think that a lot of our problems that we have, especially with managing the domes, it comes right back to UI.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of at the end of the day, like everything is, there is no master list of all of your colonists and where they are located. I don't know. Like I could have a dome filled with children that are male exclusively and not notice it unless I specifically clicked on that dome and moused over. Like that should be, especially if, for example, you're doing the Church of the New Ark run and you're trying to have lots of babies, that could be a problem.
Because I did it and I had to like pre-select male and females, and because it even added to the trait problem that I have, which is a challenge, and I like that one again. But I basically started counting like, well, wait, do I got 4?
The challenge is irrelevant if the game doesn't communicate the challenge to you and doesn't communicate what you're doing right and wrong to you. Otherwise, it's just lost information, and none of that information is communicated.
Basically, I pre-selected males and females, and I wanted to go into the same dome, so I'm exactly sure there's like 6-6. Like 50-50 male female in that dome to have like 6 couples who are, I'm gonna say, pooping out babies.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing that I have no clue if it's better to have like 2 mid-aged males and 20 females.
This is getting weird.
With high comfort because they're banging like
this
the
is where the cult comes in, right?
Or if it's
welcome to the bunny dome.
I mean, seriously. But anyway, talking about domes,
Mars is weird, everybody.
It's really, really, really triggering me is that you can't, because colonists don't walk from dome to dome, you can't have a living dome and a working dome, even if it's just one hexagon between like the entry doors to both domes. But they walk like 5 or 6 hexagons away to a farm that's there. Yeah, they're losing blah blah blah, they're losing comfort and shit, who cares? But they're walking there. Why don't they walk from one freaking dome to another freaking dome?
Yeah, like chaining domes should be a thing. Like you can put them right next to each other, or there should be like a short tunnel you could build between them, so that you can like specialize each dome to certain purpose. Like this one is farming dome, which just farms in there, and you will live in this next dome next door, and you go to work from there, and then you have like a education dome, like a government dome, and then you have like a dome for like a industry and dome for like a services. Like it's kind of strange to have like a bar and a casino like every dome. Like we don't have casinos like in every corner in real life either. So you would go and travel to like a small distance to go to the casino.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I totally
like
understand the pleasure dome. Welcome to the rabbit hole. I totally get the idea why it's not a thing, because they want you to manage with your resources, meaning in that case the colonists and the space you have in each dome. But on the other side, it's so unpractical.
Yeah, but that should be a thing only in the early game. Like you are limited on the resources and space early game, but once you get like an established colony and you start to have bigger domes and all of that, you should be able to do like more like specialized infrastructure and everything, like evolve the gameplay from the like early game. Oh god, we're dying. We don't have air. We don't have resources. To like having more established colony where you have like that, like a more specialized things and everything, like a government and everything. Like that would be much more like a interesting late game than what is currently in the game.
Anyways, overall, I think we do enjoy this game. At the end of the day, believe it or not.
I think so as well. Like I say always on my stream, that if I don't like a game, I don't play it. If I like the game, I complain because I care about the game and I want it to be better.
Well, now you finally know what's that channel you're currently guest on is all about.
Complaining.
And why we complain. Yeah, because we like the games we play. I really, really like the game. I wasn't so sure before I played it, but now that I did, I really liked it, and I will definitely play more.
Modders, please fix the UI. Please. You can do it. You have the power. It's right there.
Yeah, please. And the super drone AI. Thank you.
I would add, add the same thing as Adfo says. Like, I thought I didn't like the game, and then I like looked a little bit more into it, and I was like, hey, I could dig this, because to me it felt a little bit like, I'm not sure if I can do a comparison, but to me it felt a little bit like Banished, and that's something that I got into lately. Like the survivability and resources, everything like that. And it got me hooked, and I'm at the point where I'm starting to see flaws, and I wish those could be treated or repaired.
I think a really big point for me is, and it kind of plays into the replayability, it's like you start a new colony and you run into a problem and you're thinking, shit, let me restart this whole thing again because I know it can do better. And that's what I kind of like, that you run into issues and you want to try it again and want to do it better till you finally manage that. And if it was too easy, hey, just increase the difficulty percentage.
So, in conclusion, there is a season pass available. There will be 4 DLC packs coming. We have no idea what's going to be in those. Maybe those will fix all of our problems. We do live in a beautiful world where games can be patched, so hopefully small issues like pathing and AI will be fixed.
And a disclaimer, none of us had paid for the game. We all got codes from Paradox, basically. But we know the game is 40 euros. Is it worth 40 euros?
I mean, I've already got 50 hours in the game. So if you're going by the $1 an hour rule, yeah, easily.
Yeah, and you will likely get like another 150 hours before you complete all the mysteries.
I think for sure, like for me easily. Like I've seen way worse games for that amount, and I think it's even. Well, I wouldn't call it cheap, but it's the right price.
Okay, I totally agree. It's a decent price for a game like that. So first of all, Bell and Tatanka, thanks a lot for joining for our little talk.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Pleasure. For our viewers and listeners, thanks a lot for viewing and listening. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions whatsoever, we have a wonderful comment section under the video. Feel free to use it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.